Holy is the ultimate gamer. He's earned that name.
Holy One.
A great guy, and his videos are fantastic.
What's to do, YouTube? It's Holy One, and I'm going to be reviewing the MSI G65 laptop with an RTX 3060 and a 6-core i7-10750H, and why this laptop might just give a PS5 and Xbox Series X a run for their money, and the Nintendo Switch when it comes to portability. So I'm going to use the built-in recording camera, since this supports native video broadcast, and you guys can watch it from there. So as you guys can see, I'm now recording off the laptop's built-in camera. The camera is about 720p, 30 hertz recording. I'll upscale the image to 1080p, of course. And since it has an RTX 30 series card in it, it supports the NVIDIA broadcast. So you can have background noises, cancellation, streaming. The laptop is pretty much a really good portable system when it comes to that. So that's a series feature for the RTX cards and RTX laptops. So I'll go over the specs for this laptop for you guys. So it's rocking an RTX 3060 6GB model, Max Q, and it has an Intel 10750. That is a 6-core, 12-thread Max Q CPU. It has 16 gigs of RAM, and it's 2 sticks instead of 1. Most laptop makers will cheap out on 1 stick, which can degrade performance in certain games. This has 2 8GB sticks, both running at 2933 megahertz. And the benchmarks I'm about to show you guys are the non-overclock benchmarks. The CPU seems to like to hover around 4 gigahertz, a little over that. And the Max Q is pretty much there. And temperatures max out at around 80°C, which is not terrible at all for a laptop. So you guys can see those benchmarks right now. My RTX 3060 laptop with 6 cores is running Halo 4 at 4K max settings. Here's the stats we're getting, guys. 20 more frames than the X-Bone and an Xbox Series X. And it's running at native 4K. Even though bots say the Series X is native 4K, Digital Foundry said it was checkerboard 4K. This is native, and we're definitely getting more frames on the 3060 laptop, which is pretty damn incredible for a portable system. Now we have Neo 2 running on my RTX laptop, and it is now running at native 4K. Everything's maxed, settings above PlayStation 5. We're getting about 73 FPS on average with DLSS off, so it's getting about 13 more frames than the PS5, and it's running at higher settings. And I could turn on DLSS and performance and get that frame rate even higher. Ha damn! Alright, so you guys saw those benchmarks. I got the user benchmark, all that good stuff. It scored pretty noticeable for a laptop. As you can see, it's handily beating the PS5 and Neo 2 when it came to benchmarks at 4K 60. It's definitely getting more FPS, and if you take in DLSS into that option, you can boost the frame rate above what the PS5 is capable of doing. And as you can see in Halo, it's already defeating the Series X at native 4K by a good chunk of frames. So it's about, NVIDIA did say that the 3060 Max Q is going to be about 30% faster than the PS5. In certain titles, it might be with DLSS, but the added features include it's portable, and it's a great Switch competitor because even on battery, this thing is able to outperform the Nintendo Switch in these games, which is fantastic. So there's that. On top of that, the battery life is about, expect what you'd expect a budget laptop. It's about an hour. You could pretty much emulate all of Nintendo's games, whether it be the Switch, the Wii U, old Nintendo retro consoles on this laptop on the go, and get native Xbox games on it, and you can use any controller you want on it. The online's free, all the benefits of a PC and the portability of it. And this thing could last you till the next console comes out, whether it's the Pro model or the next generation model, because this thing's already outperforming the systems. Even if it's by 10%, the portability option and all these other things make it a great system. Plus, it's got all the NVIDIA features like DLSS, NVIDIA Broadcast. When it comes to the acoustics, it's pretty simple. Got a red keyboard. The screen is a 1080p 144 Hz monitor. It's more of a budget range. But stick it into a stick it into a monitor, and it's great for 1440p and some 4K titles. I know the VRAM at 6 can be a little limiting in certain things, but if you turn textures from like ultra to high or from ultra to high, you're pretty good to go. You're good to go with that. And it's going to be able to play all the PlayStation games soon because Sony's bringing those over to the system. And what's great about this system is I know some people don't care about this, but it consumes less wattage than the PlayStation 5 does. So it is, despite having an Intel and NVIDIA chipset in there, it's not as power hungry as the new systems are. It's rocking a 512 gigabyte NVMe 970 EVO, so it's slightly better than the Series X, and I think it's probably a little bit under the PS5's SSD, but it's still very fast, and it has a second slot in there, so you guys could plop, a 2 terabyte NVMe in there or whatever you want, or plug in an external drive if you want when you're at home, and then just make this your main system if you don't want to wait on getting a desktop, as miners are buying those up at ridiculous prices. So this could be a fantastic replacement for you. When it comes to the price, I bought it for $1,200. That was on sale. That was after tax and shipping. They're probably saying, this is way more expensive than a Series X or PS5. Well, most PS5s are not going for scalping prices at $700. And if you're a person who wants to play the Switch, the Xbox, and the PS5, you're going to have to spend well over $1,500 for all those systems, including the online subscription and buying those games multiple times for the system. Whereas this laptop can emulate all of Nintendo's games. It can play all the Xbox games with Game Pass, which really triples this thing's value, and PlayStation 5's games that are coming over to this system in the near future. So it's a fantastic laptop. There's other models you guys can get. There's Asus. This is the MSI version. There's ones with a higher refresh rate on the screen if you want. I'd say stick with the 3060 because that's the sweet spot. Once you look towards the 3070, that's getting into $1,500 price range, and then getting a laptop over that price is kind of pointless. And I know some people are going to say laptops are garbage, but this laptop is pretty good value. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is your boy Holy One. Oh!